What happens when a powerful CEO walks into his own business, disguising himself to understand the real people who make it run? What happens when the truth is far different from what he expects? Let's dive into the story and see how everything unfolds. Ethan Parker was the type of man everyone looked up to. A self-made billionaire, owner of Parker Motors, one of the largest car dealerships in the country. To the outside world, he was a symbol of success, the perfect blend of charm, intelligence, and leadership. His picture hung in the lobbies of his dealerships. His name was on the walls of every major magazine. He had everything anyone could ever dream of: luxury, fame, and a life of ease. But Ethan wasn't satisfied. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. He had built his empire from the ground up, yet he felt disconnected from the people who made it all possible. His employees, the ones who worked tirelessly every day, seemed distant to him, like characters in a story he no longer had a hand in writing. One morning, sitting in his sleek office, he had an idea, a thought that sparked a change. What if he went undercover? What if he walked into one of his dealerships, pretending to be just another regular customer, and saw things from their perspective? He made the call. A few days later, Ethan was standing at the entrance of his flagship dealership in the heart of the city. He was dressed in a simple jacket, jeans, and a cap pulled low to hide his identity. The staff had no idea who he was. His only goal was to see the dealership through fresh eyes, to understand how his workers felt. He wanted to hear their stories, the ones they probably wouldn't share with the boss. He walked through the dealership's doors, the familiar scent of fresh leather and new cars filling the air. It felt different from his usual office. The lights, the cars, the workers, it all seemed so far removed from the world of boardrooms and high-rise offices. He made his way through the showroom, his eyes casually scanning the cars. A young salesman, Jordan, approached him. Jordan was in his early 20s, wearing a crisp uniform. He smiled warmly. "Can I help you, sir?" Jordan asked, his voice polite but tired. Ethan nodded, trying to keep his voice casual. "Yeah, I'm looking for a car. Something reliable, you know? I'm thinking of upgrading." Jordan's eyes brightened. This was his chance, his big break. He knew that making a sale here in such a high-end dealership would impress his manager, maybe even land him a promotion. "Well, we have plenty of options. We just got in the latest model. Would you like to take a look at it?" Ethan nodded, following Jordan to a sleek silver car. They walked around it, Jordan explaining the features. But Ethan wasn't listening closely. His mind was elsewhere. He watched the employees at the front desk, the workers in the back fixing cars, all of them busy with their own lives. For the first time in a long time, he felt like an outsider. After a few minutes, Jordan asked, "Would you like to take it for a test drive?" "Sure," Ethan replied. "But before we do, I'd like to know about the people working here. Do you like it? Working here, I mean." Jordan hesitated for a moment. He was surprised by the question, but something in Ethan's voice made him feel like he could be honest. "It's okay. The pay isn't bad, but it's hard work. Sometimes we're just trying to keep up, you know? You get yelled at by customers and the managers. They don't always have our back." Ethan's heart sank. He had never heard anyone say something like that about his business. The image of Parker Motors he had built was of a perfect, well-oiled machine. But what he was hearing was something entirely different. As they headed outside to the parking lot for the test drive, a man and woman walked in. Ethan didn't pay them much attention at first, but as they approached, he overheard their conversation. "I can't believe we're here," the man said. "I never thought we'd have the chance to even look at a car here." The woman beside him nodded. "I know, but with the way things are going, we don't have many options left." Ethan's curiosity piqued, and he turned slightly to listen. The man spoke again. "I mean, it's hard to make ends meet, but if we could just get something reliable, maybe our lives would get a little easier." The woman sighed, glancing at the expensive cars around them. "We don't belong here, but maybe just this once, we could get something that won't break down in a month." Ethan felt a knot form in his stomach. The conversation had struck him deeply. He could see the hope, the desperation in their voices. They weren't looking for luxury, they were looking for a way out, a way to make their lives a little less difficult. Suddenly, Jordan spoke up. "You two looking for something in particular?" The man hesitated before answering. "Something affordable, something we can count on. We've had bad luck with cars before, you know?" Jordan gave them a polite smile. "Well, we have a lot of options, but it's not the cheapest place to shop. Maybe you should try the other dealership down the road." Ethan's heart raced. He couldn't help but notice how dismissive Jordan had been. He had heard it himself. The man and woman weren't looking for luxury. They were just trying to get by. But Jordan had made no effort to empathize with their situation. Before he knew it, he had spoken without thinking. "I'll buy them the car." Jordan turned, surprised. "What, are you sure?" "Yes," Ethan said, his voice firm. "I'll pay for their car. I'll take care of it." The man and woman stared at him, wide-eyed. No, we couldn't." "Please," Ethan interrupted. "It's the least I can do. You deserve a fresh start." Jordan, still in shock, didn't know how to respond, but the man and woman were overwhelmed with emotion. Tears welled up in the woman's eyes. "Thank you. You don't know what this means to us." Ethan gave them a soft smile. "I know exactly what it means." As they finalized the paperwork, something unexpected happened. The dealership manager, Brad, walked over, his eyes narrowing when he saw what was happening. "What's going on here?" he asked, his tone sharp. Ethan glanced up, now realizing the twist to his plan. He had not anticipated the response from his own employees. "I'm buying the car for them," Ethan said, his voice calm but firm. "Is that a problem?" Brad didn't know how to respond. "It's just, we don't do that here," he stammered. "I mean, we can't just give away cars." Ethan took a deep breath. "I'm the one paying for it, Brad. So, I think I'm the one who gets to decide how this goes." Brad hesitated, his pride and authority at stake. He finally nodded, but Ethan could see the tension in his face. It was clear that Brad didn't agree with his decision. Yet, Ethan wasn't about to back down. As the transaction was completed, the man and woman left with the keys to their new car, their lives forever changed. But for Ethan, the real change had just begun. On his way out, he pulled Jordan aside. "You did a good job today," Ethan said. "But next time, when you see someone in need, maybe think about their situation before just pushing them away." Jordan looked confused. "I don't understand." Ethan smiled softly. "Maybe I should have said it earlier, but I'm Ethan Parker, the CEO of Parker Motors." Jordan's eyes widened in disbelief. "Wait, what?" "I've been watching, listening, and I've learned something important today," Ethan continued. "This isn't just about selling cars. It's about helping people when they need it most." The realization hit Jordan hard. He had no idea that the boss was standing right in front of him all along. As Ethan walked out of the dealership, he realized how much he had been missing. He had everything: money, power, fame, but he had lost sight of the people who had made it all possible. The workers, the customers, the ones whose lives he had never truly understood. And as he sat in his car driving away from the dealership, he knew one thing for sure: things were about to change. He would be different now, and so would Parker Motors. That's the story, friends. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure sharing it with you all. Don't forget to comment below and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see the global reach of these stories. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories, tips, and tricks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. If you'd like to show some extra love, tap the 3 dots near the share button and send a super thanks.